Good morning. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to present you a comprehensive guide to excelling in IELTS speaking part 3. The IELTS is the IELTS speaking test is a critical component of the IELTS exam, aimed at assessing your proficiency in spoken English. Part 3 of the speaking test, also known as the discussion section, involves a two-way discussion with the examiner on more abstract topics, often related to the topics covered in Part 2. This section lasts for about 4 to 5 minutes and requires you to express your ideas, opinions, and arguments clearly and coherently. Questions on this section might also require you to compare two different points and even make predictions for the future. This guide will help you understand how this part of the exam is assessed, offer tips on developing fluency, and provide sample answers to typical questions. One of the fears that candidates have is, what if I don't understand the question? Don't worry, it is fine to ask for clarification from the examiner, such as, could you repeat that, please? You will not lose any marks asking the examiner this kind of question. Another thing that you don't need to worry about is if the examiner interrupts you. This is totally fine, and it might just mean that he wants to ask you more questions or maybe your timing is too long. One very important thing about part 3 of IELTS speaking is that this section is not about you. Keep that in mind. Is it possible to correct yourself if you make a mistake? Sure, no problem, but try not to do it too much. In terms of strategies for this section of the exam, you should explain your answers, elaborate, and answer how and why. Do not simply say yes or no for the answers. Each of the answers for part 3 should take about 40 to 50 seconds, and sometimes the examiner might ask you to consider two views in your answer. Pay attention to what the examiner asks or tells you. It is extremely important to understand how IELTS Speaking Part 3 is assessed. IELTS Speaking Part 3 is evaluated based on four key criteria. Number one, fluency and coherence. This measures your ability to speak smoothly without long pauses and to connect your ideas logically. It's essential to develop your ability to extend your answers and provide detailed explanations. 2. Lexical resource. This assesses your range of vocabulary, including the ability to use less common and idiomatic expressions. It's important to demonstrate a good command of a wide range of vocabulary, including collocations and less common words. 3. Grammatical range and accuracy. This criterion evaluates your ability to use a variety of grammatical structures accurately. You should aim to use complex sentences, different tenses, and appropriate grammatical forms. 4. Pronunciation. This assesses your ability to be understood, including the correct pronunciation of words, stress patterns, and intonation. Clear and natural pronunciation is key to a high score. Now, developing fluency in speaking. Fluency is the ability to speak smoothly and at a natural pace. Here are some tips to improve your fluency. 1. Practice regularly. Speak English daily, whether it's with a friend, in a study group, or even to yourself. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. 2. Think in English. Try to think in English instead of translating from your native language. This helps in forming sentences more quickly. 3. Use filler phrases. When you need a moment to think, use filler phrases like, let me think, that's an interesting question, or I believe that. This buys you time without breaking the flow. 4. Read aloud. Reading English text aloud can improve your pronunciation and help you become more comfortable with speaking. 5. Record yourself. Recording and listening to yourself can help identify areas for improvement. Pay attention to your pronunciation, intonation, and the natural flow of your speech. Now, when it comes to using advanced English, to score well in the lexical resource criterion, you need to use a wide range of vocabulary. Here are some tips for incorporating advanced words into your speech. 1. Learn synonyms. Instead of repeating common words, learn synonyms. For example, instead of saying important, you could use crucial, vital, or significant. 2. Use idiomatic phrases. There are many idiomatic phrases that you can study and use during your preparation for the IELTS speaking, such as kind of course, in terms of, in fact, deal with, at all, as well, make sure, go through, come up, look for, find out, go on, as well as, in a way, in some way, in order to, get into, first of all, come up with, figure out, and put on. Why are they called idiomatic? Phrases are called idiomatic because they consist of expressions that have a meaning which is hard to understand from the individual words. In other words, the overall meaning of an idiomatic phrase is different from the literal meaning of its constituent parts. Idiomatic expressions are often culturally specific and evolve over time, reflecting the unique linguistic and social practices of a language community. For example, the phrase kick the bucket is an idiom that means to die. The literal meaning of kick and bucket do not suggest this interpretation, but within the context of the English language, the phrase has come to be understood in this way. Expressions add color and richness to language, enabling speakers to convey complex ideas and emotions succinctly and effectively. They often carry connotations and cultural nuances that plain language might not capture as vividly. You can use one idiom or proverb or two in your IELTS speaking if you want, but they should only be used naturally and spontaneously. If you take a look at IELTS band descriptors for lexical resource, you will find the item that says, uses idiomatic language naturally and accurately. Now, the term naturally is very important, and that is why you must practice a lot before you take the actual exam. Do not memorize expressions and sentences. They must be part of your everyday use of English. Now, when it comes to learn collocations, these are words that frequently go together. For example, we say make a decision rather than do a decision. Now, what is a collocation? A collocation is two or more words that often go together. These combinations just sound right to native English speakers who use them all the time. On the other hand, other combinations may be unnatural and just sound wrong. It is very important for you to learn collocations because your language will be more natural and more easily understood. In addition, you will have alternative and richer ways of expressing yourself. It is easier for our brains to remember and use language in chunks or blocks rather than as single words. How to learn collocations. Be aware of collocations and try to recognize them when you see or hear them. Treat collocations as single blocks of language. When you learn a new word, write down other words that collocate with it. Remember rightly, remember distinctly, remember vaguely, remember vividly. Read as much as possible. Reading is an excellent way to learn vocabulary and collocations in context and naturally. Revise what you learn regularly. Practice using new collocations in context as soon as possible after learning them. Learn collocations in groups that work for you. You could learn them by topic: time, number, weather, money, family, or by a particular word. Take action, take a chance, take an exam. You can find information on collocations in any good learner's dictionary, and you can also find specialized dictionaries of collocations. Now, when it comes to types of collocations, there are several different types of collocation made from combinations of verb, noun, adjective, etc. Some of the most common types are adverb plus adjective. For example, completely satisfied. Adjective plus noun. For example, excruciating pain. Noun plus noun. For example, a surge of anger. Noun plus verb. For example, lions roar. Verb plus noun. For example, commit suicide. Verb plus expression with preposition. Burst into tears. And verb plus adverb. Wave frantically. I prepared some sample collocations because there are several different types of collocation. Collocations can be adjective plus adverb, noun plus noun, verb plus noun, and so on. Let's see some main types of collocation in sample sentences. Number one, adverb plus adjective. Invading that country was an utterly stupid thing to do. We entered a richly decorated room. Are you fully aware of the implications of your action? Number two, adjective plus noun. The doctor ordered him to take regular exercise. The Titanic sank on its maiden voyage. He was writhing on the ground in excruciating pain. 3. Noun plus noun. Let's give Mr. Jones a round of applause. The ceasefire agreement came into effect at 11 a.m. I'd like to buy 2 bars of soap, please. Number 4. Noun plus verb. The lion started to roar when it heard the dog barking. Snow was falling as our plane took off. The bomb went off when he started the car engine. Number 5. Verb plus noun. The prisoner was hanged for committing murder. I always try to do my homework in the morning after making my bed. He has been asked to give a presentation about his work. Number 6. Verb plus expression with preposition. We had to return home because we had run out of money. At first, her eyes filled with horror, and then she burst into tears. Their behavior was enough to drive anybody to crime. Number 7. Verb plus adverb. She placed her keys gently on the table and sat down. Mary whispered softly in John's ear. I vaguely remember that it was growing dark when we left. Another way that you can prepare for IELTS is to practice with word lists. You can use word lists tailored for IELTS, such as the academic word list, and try to incorporate these words into your practice answers. Contextual learning. Learn new words in context to understand how they are used. Reading articles, watching videos, and listening to podcasts in English can help with this. Now, for today, I prepared some sample answers to typical questions. Question number one. What are popular types of advertising in today's world? In today's advertising, a variety of methods are used to reach audiences across multiple platforms. Digital advertising includes social media ads on platforms like Facebook and Instagram, search engine marketing, and display ads. Influencer marketing and content marketing, such as blog posts and videos, also play significant roles. Traditional advertising remains relevant with TV and radio commercials, print ads, and outdoor ads like billboards. Email marketing, event marketing, affiliate marketing, and native advertising further diversify the strategies. Mobile advertising targets users through in app ads and SMS campaigns, while programmatic advertising and retargeting use algorithms and behavioral data for precision targeting. Finally, guerrilla marketing employs creative, unconventional tactics to capture public attention, creating comprehensive campaigns that engage audiences effectively across various channels. Question number two. What type of media advertising do you like most? Personally, I find digital advertising, especially on social media, the most engaging. The interactive nature of social media ads allows for immediate feedback and interaction with the brand. Moreover, these ads are often tailored to my interests based on my browsing history and online behavior, making them more relevant and less intrusive. For instance, I often come across ads for books or technology gadgets, which are areas I am genuinely interested in. Another appealing aspect of social media advertising is the use of multimedia elements such as videos, animations, and interactive posts, which can be more engaging than images or text. The ability to share and comment on these ads also creates a sense of community and discussion around the products being advertised. 3. Do you think advertising influences what people buy? Absolutely. Advertising plays a crucial role in shaping consumer behavior and influencing purchasing decisions. Advertisements can create awareness about new products and services, highlight features and benefits, and differentiate a product from its competitors. For example, a well crafted ad campaign for a new smartphone can generate interest and excitement, leading potential buyers to consider it over other models. Moreover, advertisements often appeal to emotions, which can be a powerful motivator for purchases. For instance, ads that evoke feelings of happiness, success, or belonging can make consumers associate these positive emotions with the product. This emotional connection can significantly influence their buying decisions. Additionally, repeated exposure to advertisements can lead to brand recognition and loyalty. When consumers repeatedly see a brand being advertised, it can create a sense of familiarity and trust, making them more likely to choose that brand over others. 4. What factors should be taken into account when making advertisements? Creating effective advertisement involves understanding your target audience's demographics, psychographics, and behavior to tailor the message accordingly. Define clear objectives and goals, and craft a compelling message that highlights the unique selling proposition with high quality visuals and a strong call to action. Select the right channels for distribution, allocate an appropriate budget, and ensure compliance with legal and ethical standards. Additionally, consider timing and conduct A to B testing to optimize performance. Finally, use analytics to measure the ad's effectiveness and gather feedback for continuous improvement. 5. Is advertising really necessary in modern society? Yes, advertising is essential in modern society for several reasons, such as economic growth, consumer awareness, brand building, competition, and public information. However, it's important to regulate advertising to ensure it is truthful and ethical. preventing misleading claims and protecting vulnerable populations, such as children. 6. Let's move on from types of advertising to the impact of advertising on children. How does advertising influence children? Advertising significantly influences children's behavior, preferences, and perceptions. It can drive consumer behavior by promoting toys, games, and sugary snacks, leading to brand loyalty and materialistic values. Advertisements also impact children's health by encouraging unhealthy eating habits, shape their behavior through idealized depictions, and, when used responsibly, can positively contribute to their educational development. 7. Is there any advertising that can be harmful to children? Yes, certain types of advertising can be harmful to children in several ways. Unhealthy food advertising, violent content, sexualized imagery, materialistic values, false claims, and peer pressure in advertisements can negatively impact children by promoting poor eating habits, desensitizing them to violence, affecting their body image and self esteem, instilling materialistic values, misleading them, and causing social stress and anxiety. Now, as you can see, some of these answers that I provided here as sample answers were shorter, some of them were longer, right? So there isn't a certain amount of time specifically that you can use. Anywhere between 30 seconds to 50 seconds for IELTS speaking part 3 should be enough. As a conclusion, excelling in IELTS speaking part 3 requires a combination of fluency, a rich vocabulary, grammatical accuracy, and clear pronunciation. By practicing regularly, thinking in English, using advanced words, and familiarizing yourself with the common types of questions, you can significantly improve your performance. Remember to stay calm, think before you speak, and provide detailed, coherent answers. The sample answers provided can serve as a useful reference for structuring your responses and incorporating sophisticated language into your speech. Good luck with your IELTS preparation, and I will see you next time.